YouTube friends and family to today's Every Bit Counts Challenge edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So as you go through this video, you might be like, ooh, this is a little chopped up. And I want to share with you, I got a little heavy-handed with the delete button and deleted some key pieces that I had recorded this week. It's hard for me sometimes to do multiple videos, like one a day, and just upload it because that delete button gets me every time. So I want to show you some of the things that didn't make the cut because I deleted it. So I had done a video previously on leather britches, and you may notice something different. These are purple beans, and some green. Big shout out to Homestead Tessie. I had to, in desperation, send her a picture and be like, what is this? Why are they purple? I don't know whether perhaps some of the seed was a different type of bean, but when you cook them, and you can see inside they're green, they will turn green. So what I've been doing with these, in case you're wondering, like, what on earth am I going to do with all this? I have these little notches, I hope I'm speaking loud enough, on my shelving that I just wind the string around it tightly. I may regret this later, but I've always done it with my garlic as well. And then these can just hang till they dry. So today is Tuesday. So this is actually kind of more than a week of what I did, but I've wanted to show you because several of you have asked, well, what do the beans look like as they dry? So here you go. Hear that nice sound? So these are almost dry. When they get completely dry, I would just put them into a jar, keep them here in my nice cool pantry, which is not so cool today because I ran the freeze dryer. So that brings me to the pieces that I accidentally deleted. So I've been growing my own herbs, and y'all know I don't use any chemicals. So I want to show you, look at this rosemary, y'all. Look at this. So I decided instead of using the dehydrator or even the natural dehydrator, I was going to freeze dry it. Y'all, there is no comparison. The quality of the herb when it comes out is amazing and far different than what I've been getting from the dehydrator, because the dehydrator uses heat while a freeze dryer uses cold temperatures and, let's just say, sort of a suction to take the water out, and it leaves all the flavor behind. So I have rosemary, and you'll notice the colors are still very pretty. Sage, and what I've done is I just vacuum sealed these in jars. I have basil, and y'all, I don't crumble it up till I'm ready to use it or chop it. I just put it in there because it's faster. And then y'all know what this is. Yeah, elderberry. So I have done 2 batches, and I know this doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. And I decided to freeze dry them this time because freeze drying, not using heat, will help your food to retain more nutrition than if you dehydrated it. Now, it may be negligible, but with something like elderberry, I was very much wanting to have the best nutrient value that I possibly could. So here you go, 2 full jars of that. So that was a lot of what I did this week. I'm going to insert some clips here of some other things that I did through the week and just challenge you. Don't forget, every bit counts. I'm voicing over this part of the video because there was a lot of noise in the background this day. So what I'm showing you is a zucchini that I missed in the garden. And as you know, zucchini can go from itty bitty to gigantic in just moments. It's kind of amazing. So I decided I wanted to try something new and different, and that is to make some freeze-dried zucchini chips. So what I'm doing here is just with a very sharp knife, I'm trying to cut very even slices. I'm showing you here like 1/4 inch perhaps. Now I am putting a little bit of salt on some of the seasoning combinations. So I decided I wanted to try 4 different things. So first I'm using some Ozark Seasoning from Pinsy's, and this is a nice flavorful, kind of a smoky tasting seasoning that I absolutely love. And as usual, I hate those Ziploc bags, y'all. That and my hands just do not get along. I got a little bit carried away. I should have put this in a shaker. I do save my organic great value herb and spice jars are glass, so I do save those. So I need to transfer that over because this was a lot of seasoning for a little bit of chip, but quite delicious in the end. I'm curious if any of you have a favorite combination if you freeze dry vegetables for a spicy topping. So the second seasoning I'm using is called the Bamboo Chef, and it is an Asian seasoning. It is very good, but it is salt-free. So I'm putting a little bit of salt on those items that I think are going to need a little bit of salt. I'm not a huge potato chip salty snack eater, but I also don't want it to be so bland that it doesn't taste like anything. Okay, third tray, I am going to use the Bada Sriracha salt. And let me tell you all, this stuff gave me fits trying to get it out of the bottle. It kept having to whack it and scrape it with a spoon and do all those things. So it must have had a little moisture get to it. But it is probably, out of all of the flavors, my absolute favorite. It's spicy, but not a type heat that you cannot tolerate for sure. So this took a little bit of fiddling back and forth. And I'm not sure why this one has gotten some humidity in it when none of the others have, and they're all stored in the same place. So once again, pull off that cap, do a little bit of scraping. But at this point I was determined because it smelled amazing. And I'm looking at the label like, what's wrong with this stuff? But actually it's very tasty. And again, I don't know why it was hard like that, because it wasn't expired. So yeah, I'm determined to get every little bit of it out that isn't clumped up. All right, for the final seasoning, of course, we need some everything bagel seasoning. And y'all, I haven't forgotten, I am going to make some homemade. This is my last bottle, and I will bring you along for that recipe. So there we have it. So for today's Make Every Bit Count, I am making some cowboy candy, and I am very proud to say that these are all organically grown jalapenos from my garden. It is so simple. If y'all like a good treat, this is great over cream cheese and dipped up with crackers. I do a very simple recipe. 2 parts sugar to 1 part apple cider vinegar. I add garlic, a little celery seed, a little cayenne, because why not? And some turmeric, and that gives it that lovely yellow color. So I'm going to keep on going here, and I will bring you back to show you what I get out of my homegrown jalapenos. 3 jars of cowboy candy, and then I had a few banana peppers, so I used the leftover syrup in there. So that'll be really good on pizza. They are all sealed. And y'all, I have been using some of the 4 jars lids, and I can't say enough good about them. I do not have a discount code. I know Homestead Tessie does. While I was next door, this happened. So my next door neighbor is moving and having her second round of garage sales, and they had a whole bunch of tomatoes that they weren't going to be able to use. So I will be doing a little bit more canning today, so every little bit counts. So for today's part of the Every Bit Counts challenge, I just pulled out, I realized I didn't have any pint cold packed tomatoes, so there's 5 pints, and I picked those in small batches and froze them. Now, several of you suggested to freeze them, the skins slip right off. I do not like the texture of the tomato. I feel like I'm losing too much meat, but the skins definitely come off easily. I am still getting a handful of strawberries every single day, and I set these out so I don't forget to tell you, we are getting much more vinegary smell out of both our blackberry and our rose vinegar. I allowed myself a little bit of rose vinegar in my hair this morning because I know I've got more coming within the next couple weeks. So for me, part of the Every Bit Counts challenge is looking not only at what I have on hand, but as you see in the background, planning a little bit for the future. So I have added 2 more beds, raised beds, to my garden, and this took 65 screws and 65 nuts for each bed. My hands were sore for like 2 days. So 130 total. But they are nice and sturdy, and I'll leave a link in the description box to the ones that I ordered from Amazon. I did get my garden all cleaned out. Now I have some room if I want to do some fall planting. Okay, I'm gonna try not to make y'all dizzy. Back behind me, you see, I have, oh, I'm so bad at the pointing thing. Okay, really bad. I have my sun oven out. So part of what I have been doing for the Every Bit Counts challenge is making sure that I am looking at my pantry, looking at things that are nearing expiration in anticipation of them becoming less than fresh. I want to get those used up as well. So I'm walking over here to the chicken coop, and I want to share a little update. So I don't think any of the eggs that I received were viable. Whether they were fertilized or not, I can't say. So I have 2 baby chicks coming. What are you doing, girls? I should be turning around. They think they're going to get a TREAT. They know that word. Yes, I know. I know. Fancy Ray. That's Fancy Ray running her mouth. I was down to 2 eggs. One of those cracked. The very last egg she's still sitting on. This is day 22. So let me pause for a moment and I'll give you a peek at what Miss Violet looks like. So here comes Miss Jolene. Hey, you're nosy. You get out. Come on. Come on. So you want to tell the people about the fact that Mom, I'm going to get you some babies? Yeah. So I have the chick feed and some water, which definitely needs cleaned a little bit. Here, let's freshen that. But Miss Violet does come out once a day. As you see right here, there's her egg. Luca, you need to do, don't you peck me. But again, I don't think the egg is fertilized nor viable. I have tried candling, and I can't see a daggone thing. I've tried twice. Okay, now you're going to be nosy-posy. And if she gets off the egg, the other chickens steal it and put it in the nesting box. So, Fancy Ray. Oh my word, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, they're all very nosy when I open the coop. I know I already did my August garden tour, but y'all look. My peppers are finally starting to turn orange. Those tiny hots are loaded with peppers. And I've let my radishes go to seed. We'll see what we get there. And then I have a ton of cayenne long reds that are starting to mature. I have a lot out in the garden as well. So we are not done making every bit count. I hope today has given you some ideas of things that you might do to make every bit count. I am really enjoying doing the smaller, I'm sorry about the traffic, y'all, the smaller amounts of canning and processing. I would like to have an electric pressure canner. However, I'm not willing to spend the money, and the model that I want is constantly out of stock, so it's just a hot item. You know, perhaps next year I can get that. I certainly know how to pressure can without it. I just feel like maybe I would use a little less electricity. So behind me you see my strawberry GreenStalk. Y'all, if you don't have a GreenStalk, I will leave a link to that as well. You need one. They are so amazing. I have had tons of strawberries first year planted out of this GreenStalk. Very easy, you just water from the top. The girls love strawberries. I think out of everything I've ever fed them, and I don't give them a lot of, I'll say table food. I try to give them things from the garden, like, you know, carrot tops and radish tops and that type of stuff. They love their strawberries, especially Fancy Ray. She thinks that she's the only one that should get one. She's not spoiled though. So I did want to share a little something that happened to me. And y'all, no fear. Last night, I happened to wake up. I go to bed very early. Y'all, I'm in bed asleep by 8 o'clock most nights. But I'm usually up by 2 or 3 o'clock. So I woke up after a not so pleasant dream, and I was very thirsty. So I came downstairs to get a drink, and what I noticed was there was someone in my front yard with flashlight scoping it out, right? And I thought, I couldn't see the person, I could only see the flashlight. I thought, okay, you just had a bad dream, you're being dramatic, Kim, go to bed. So once I went upstairs, I heard one of my Amazon boxes that got delivered at like 8:45 being scooted across the porch. So I ran downstairs, flipped on the light. By the time I got there, I must have scared them away because there was no one there. I did have the police come out and do a security check. And I just want to tell you all, you know, these times are kind of uncertain. I'm not trying to scare you, but do make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, that, you know, desperate times call for sometimes some illegal desperate measures. So you don't want to have a problem. I'm armed and I'm not afraid to use it if it's my life or their life. If it's just my Amazon box, you know, that's less of a thing. Normally my deliveries don't come so late, but it did last night. So, you know, just be mindful that we're in times that we haven't experienced before, and be very aware of your safety. So I think that's going to do it for today. I'm going to go in and make a video, y'all. We're going to make something really, really good, so you don't want to miss it. I also wanted to share with you, Saturday I'm having a surprise birthday party for my mom, who will turn 87. So my plan at this point is to do some filming. And I'm not sure what day this is going to go up. I think it'll go up on Thursday. So I'm going to do some filming Friday of some of the cakes and things that I'm going to be making for the little get-together. Sorry, got distracted. I was like, what are you girls doing? They're just chickening around. That's what I tell them. So definitely I will do a video then. Thursday is the day that I will be getting the baby chicks. So depending on how Violet accepts them and whether it's intrusive, I mean, she's so used to me. I don't think it'll be a problem, but a protective mama is a protective mama. I'll try to get some videos, even if it's just a live or a short or something like that. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. How are you doing? Do you have some good ideas of things that you can do to make every bit count? I've got some ideas that I still want to do for next week, or well, yeah, next week. Y'all, I've been so busy this morning, I don't even think I know what day it is. So pardon that. So go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. We have a lot of new folks here. I'm so glad to have each and every one of you. And it's about time to start doing some fall stuff. So I am so excited for that. This cooler weather has been lovely. High of 76 today, although we could really, really, really use the rain. All right. Until I see you again,
Be well, be healthy, be blessed. Take care.